तथो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Verse 22. Barhayite nayane naranam lingani vishnurna nirikshatko ye padho nranam tau drumajanma bhajao kshetrani nanu vrajato hareryau. Barhayite nayane naranam lingani vishnurna nirikshatko ye पाधौ नृणां तौ ध्रुवजन्मबाजौ क्षेत्राणि नानो व्रजतो हरेर्यौ बर्हायिते ते नयने नराणां लिङ्गानि विष्णोर्नगिरीक्षतो ये पाधौ नृणां तौ ध्रुवजन्मबाजौ क्षेत्राणि नानो व्रजतो हरेर्यौ. Translation and purport by Sri Venkateswamy Charanavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Synonyms: Barhaite, like plumes of a peacock. Te, those. Nayane, eyes. Naranam, of men. Lingani, forms. Vishnu, of the personality of Godhead. Na, does not. Nirikshatha, look upon. All such. Padhau, legs. Nrinam, of men. Tau, those. Dhrumajanma, being born of the tree. Bhajau, like that. Kshetrani, holy places. Na, never. Anuvrajatha, goes after. Hare, of the Lord. Yau, which. Translation: the eyes which do not look at the symbolic representations of the personality of God and Vishnu, his forms, name, quality, etc., are like those printed on the plumes of the peacock, and the legs which do not move to the holy places where the Lord is remembered are considered to be like tree trunks. Purport: especially for the householder devotee, the path of deity worship is strongly recommended. As far as possible, every householder, by the direction of the spiritual master, must install the deity of Vishnu, forms like Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, or Sita Rama especially, or any other forms of the Lord like Narasimha, Varaha, Garnitai, Matsya, Kurma, Shalagrama Shila, and many other forms of Vishnu like Trivikrama, Keshava, Achyuta, Vasudeva, Narayana, and Damodara, as recommended in the Vaishnava Tantras or Puranas, and one's family should worship strictly following the directions and regulations of Archana Vidhi. Any member of the family who is about 12 years of age should be initiated by a bona fide spiritual master, and all the members of the household should be engaged in the daily service of the Lord, beginning from morning 4 a.m. till night 10 p.m. by performing Mangalarati, Nirja Niranjana, Archana, Puja, Kirtana, Sringara, Bhoga, Vaikali, Sandhya, Aratrika, Patha, Bhoga at night, Sayana Aratika, etc. Engagement in such worship of the deity under the direction of bona fide spiritual master will greatly help the householders to purify their very existence and make rapid progress in spiritual knowledge. Simple theoretical book knowledge is not sufficient for a neophyte devotee. Book knowledge is theoretical, whereas the Archana process is practical. Spiritual knowledge must be developed by a combination of theoretical and practical knowledge, and that is the guaranteed way of attaining of spiritual perfection. The training of devotional service for a neophyte devotee completely depends on the expert spiritual master who knows how to lead his disciple to make gradual progress towards the path back home, back to Godhead. One should not become a pseudo spiritual master as a matter of business to meet one's family expenditures. One must be an expert spiritual master to deliver the disciple from the clutches of impending death. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has defined the bona fide qualities of a spiritual master, one of the verses in the description reads, Sri Vigrahara Nityanana Shringara Tanmandiramajjanado Yuktascha Bhaktamsha Niyunjatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanaravindam. Sri Vigraha is the archa or suitable worshipable form of the Lord, and the disciple should be engaged in worshipping the deity regularly by Sringara, by proper decoration and dressing, as also by Mandra Marjana, the matter of cleansing the temple. Mandira Marjana. The spiritual master teaches the neophyte devotee all this kindly and personally to help him gradually in the realization of the transcendental name, quality, form, etc. of the Lord. Only attention engaged in the service of the Lord, especially in dressing and decorating the temple, accompanied by musical kirtana and spiritual instructions from scriptures, can save the common man from the hellish cinema attractions and rubbish sex songs broadcast everywhere by radios. If one is unable to maintain a temple at home, he should go to Nadal's temple, where all the above performances are regularly executed. Visiting the temple of a devotee and looking at the profusely decorated forms of the Lord, well dressed in a well decorated, sanctified temple, naturally infuse the mundane mind with spiritual inspiration. People should visit holy places like Vrindavan, where such temples and worship of the deity are specially maintained. Formerly, all rich men like kings and rich merchants constructed such temples under the direction of expert devotees of the Lord, like the six Goswamis. And it is a duty of the common man to take advantage of those temples and festivals observed in the holy places of pilgrimage by following in the footsteps of great devotees, Anuvrajha. One should not visit all these sanctified pilgrimage places and temples with sightseeing in mind, but one must go to such temples and sanctified places immortalized by the transcendental pastimes of the Lord and be guided by proper men who know the signs. This is called Anuvraja. Anu means to follow. It is therefore best to follow the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master, even in visiting temples and the holy places of pilgrimage. One who doesn't move in that way is as good as a standing tree condemned by the Lord not to move. The moving tendency of the human being is misused by visiting places of sightseeing. The best purpose of such traveling tendencies could be fulfilled by visiting the holy places established by great acharyas and thereby not being misled by the atheistic propaganda of money-making men who have no knowledge of spiritual matters. Hari Om Tat Sat. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः। विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः गोपाल गोविंद राम श्रीमधुसूदनाम् मुखां करोति वाचालं फङ्गुण्लं गायतेगिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरि ओम् तत्सत् very very wonderful words and wonderful purport. Beautiful. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, the peacock plumes, they look like eyes painted, but it has no power to see. Similarly, if we don't see the forms of the Lord, just like in our ISKCON temple here, Radha Madhava, Ashtasakhi Vrind, Panchatattva, Prahlad, Narsingadev, Anandadev, Jagannath, Baladev, Suramani, Sudarshan, in Bhajan Kutir, you have Gaurnitai. So, these eyes are to be considered painted eyes, not real eyes, if not seen. This deities simply just appearing like eyes. It has no use. The human form of life, the eyes are there, particular eyes to see the forms of the Lord. Eye to eye. And because our present position is that with these material eyes, we cannot see the Lord in his spiritual form. Therefore, the Lord has kindly appeared before us in a manner in which we can see him. The forms of the Lord is not imagination. They say that they imagine some form. Sadakhanam hitvarthaya brahmano rupa kalpana. The Mayavadi philosophers. The poor fund of knowledge due to which they think that the absolute truth is formless. But because we cannot meditate upon formless, something formless, so let us imagine some form. Imagine. Nirviseshavadi. Nirakaravadi. They imagine forms. Therefore, in their philosophy is that any form you like, you can concentrate. Because after all, there is no form. But for your present facility, you can imagine some form. But there is also mistake on their part. Because they say, imagine any form. Imagine. Generally, they prescribe the form of Lord Shiva, the form of Lord Vishnu, the form of Durga, the form of the sun, and the form of the Ganesha, Panchopashana. These 5 forms are there. But ultimately, you become formless. The example given by them is that you rise up to upper place with a wooden staircase, and as soon as you reach there, you throw the wooden stair away so that you will not be able to come back again. Similarly, their philosophy also is, with some imagination form you worship, and as soon as you realize Brahman, throw it away. No more. These are all imagination. Actually, there is no fact, They don't know the actual position of spiritual life. Therefore, they are personally misled. And they misled others also. Here it is particularly mentioned Lingani Vishnu, the form of Vishnu, not this rascal imagination of, Durga, Kali, Lord Shiva. We are not concerned with the imagination form at all. They are also not imagination. Actually, everyone, all the demigods, they have got their forms also. But the difference is Vishnu, the form of Vishnu is eternal. And the forms of demigods or the form, our form, just like we have got now some form, they are not eternal. They're all temporary. We are sitting here, we have got different forms, but as soon as these forms will be changed, we shall accept another form. This form's gone forever. It will never come again. But Vishnu form, Lord Vishnu's form, Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattva means the forms of the original Lord Krishna. Krishna, he is the original form. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But he expands in different forms. The original form is Krishna. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Anantarupam. Brahma Samhita it is said. Krishna Advaita, one. There is no second. Counterpart. But he expands. Advaitam Achyutam. Achyuta means which does not fall down. Achyuta means fall. Achyuta means no fall. So God's another name is Achyuta, never falls down. Just like we living entity, we fall down from spiritual world, we fall down because we have fallen down. Therefore, we have got this material body. But Krishna or God never falls down. So he never has a material body. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. Ananta means endless. You cannot count how many forms are there of the Supreme Personality of God. They have been compared with the incessant waves of the river. Just like in the river, you stand on a flowing river, you will find the waves are day and night flowing, flowing, flowing. Similarly, God or Krishna, from him, Ananta Koti, innumerable incarnations are coming out, coming out, coming out. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. The next question may be that if all the forms are coming from Krishna, then Krishna also must have come from some other form. Because we see, suppose I have got 100 children, so I was also born by some father. No, Krishna is not like that. Anadi, Anantarupam, but Anadi is not emanation from anyone. He is original. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. All others are emanation from Krishna. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim. Anantarupam Adyam. He is original. Adyam Purana, the oldest. Why Krishna does not look like old man? Then, huh? Just like in some other religious sector, they present God as very old man. But Krishna, although the oldest, because he's the origin of all emanation, he must be oldest. But he's Navayavanam cha. Just like a young man, 16 or 20 years old, that's Krishna, Yogeshwara. Krishna, the oldest of all, still he appears Navayavana. Just youthful life is beginning. That is called Nava Yavana. So, according to our human society, the youthful life begins at 16 years. So, Krishna is like that. He will look always 16 to 20 years old, not more than that. We never have ever seen Krishna has become old. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Lingani. Lingani means form. So Krishna has many forms. As Krishna, as Vishnu, as Narayana, as Baladeva, as Jagannatha. So many Govinda. There are thousands and thousands of forms. So we must see at least one of such forms. Either you see Krishna form or Rama form or Vishnu or form or Narayana form or Baladeva form or his incarnation. Narasimhadeva form, Matsyavatara, Meena so many. If we don't increase our anxiety or inclination to see one of the forms of Vishnu, Here it is specifically mentioned Vishnu, not others. Lingani Vishnurna Nirikshate. Nirikshato. If we do not see, then our eyes are exactly like the painted eyes on the plumes of the feathers or plumes of the peacock. It looks very nice, but it has no value. It has no seeing power. So, these eyes are also painted because it is material. These eyes will remain when I shall give up this body, but it will have no more seeing power. The seeing power is gone when the spirit soul gives up this body. So, in spite of the beautiful eyes, it's unable to see. Similarly, so long we have got this instrument, this is an instrument to work. Mayaya yantra arudani maya. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra arudani maya. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord Krishna, is sitting within everyone's heart and he is witness Anumanta Upadrashta. Upadrashta means he is seeing our activity. He is not noting what I desire, because our desires are coming one after another, one after another. So according to our desire, Krishna is so kind, he gives you a body. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hridesha Arjuna Tishtati. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is sitting within the heart of everyone. So Sarvabhutanam Hridesha Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan. And he is giving us chance to transmigrate to different types of bodies or species of bodies. He is noting down that this soul is very much fond of fresh blood and raw meat. All right, you take the body of a tiger. Yes. This soul feels pleasure being naked. All right, you take the body of a tree. See, you stand up naked for 10,000 years. Satisfy your desire for being naked for 10,000 years. Why 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, 10 years? Remain naked. Huh? Human body is meant for covering, not to become naked. But if anyone develops the idea of becoming nude, all right, next life you get free. Stand up. The example is there, Yamala Arjuna. They wanted to be naked. Narada gave him opportunity. All right, you remain naked as trees. As therefore, our business should be to go to the temple, as it is prescribed here. Pado nranam tau drumajanma bhajau. Those who are not moving, they are just like trees. They don't move. So if we don't move to the places where Vishnu's forms are there, we have got many places of pilgrimage. Vrindavan, small city, about 50,000 at most population. But there are 5,000 temples, big and small. Out of that, about 1 dozen temples are very, very big, just like fort. And there are small temples. So altogether, it's a city of 50,000 population. But there are 5,000 temples, Krishna, all Radha Krishna. So this is a chance. Come to Vrindavan. Wherever you go, you see Radha Krishna. That will make your life successful by seeing Radha Krishna, seeing you will, get an impression. And if you continue, the inhabitants of Vrindavana, you will find when you go there that in the morning and evening, all of them, they are going to different temples and seeing the deity of Radha Krishna. So there's no need of education. There is no need of philosophy. There is no need of science. Simply, if you visit temples of Vishnu, then your life is successful. This is a Krishna consciousness process. Simply, if you move to the temples and see with your eyes, very simple process. Our Krishna consciousness program is so simple, at the same time sublime, that you become liberated at the end. Taktva deham punaranmaneti mameti so kaunteya. If you simply think of Krishna in that way, if you cannot read, then sit down and simply see the deity forms. That will also give you anything done. Little dancing, a little ringing the cymbals or singing Hare Krishna mantra. Anything you do, these children, they are dancing. Nowadays, when they come to ISKCON, they are also being spiritually profited. It will never go in vain. Somehow or other, he has shown some jubilation in front of the Lord. It's noted immediately. Just see. Therefore, this verse is there. Padhau nrinam thau dharmajanma bhajau. If you don't move to the temples, then what is the difference between your legs and the trees which are standing without legs? They have legs, but they cannot move. Trees, another name is pa. They drink water with their legs, just like we drink water in our mouth. So it's not that animal act in the same way. No. Just like there is a bird which is called a bat. They pass stool through the mouth, you know? Yes. So there are different processes. The fishes in the water, they touch with the wings. Their wings are so perfect that 3 miles off, another big fish is coming to eat them. They can understand by the wings. Immediately they take protection. These are all described in Bhagavatam. Yet you go get so much perfect knowledge, scientific knowledge of different species of life, how they are acting, how they are eating, how they are moving, all. Everything is perfectly there. Vidya Bhagavatavadi. If you study Srimad Bhagavatam perfectly, then all your education is complete. You don't require any other book to read. You get from Srimad Bhagavatam all material and spiritual knowledge, and at the end, Krishna. That's your profit. Kshetrani nanu vrajato hareryao. Kshetrani. Kshetrani nanu vrajato hareryao. So, Kshetra means pilgrimage. This temple, ISKCON temple, is here in Mayapur. You see, this is a pilgrimage. It's not ordinary house. It's Vaikuntha. In the Shastra, it is said that to live in the forest is living in goodness. There are three qualities, goodness, passion, ignorance in this material world. So when you live in the forest, you live in goodness. When you live in the city, in a town, then you live in a passion. And when you live in a liquor shop or a brothel or Bowery Street, then it is living in ignorance. So there are three kinds of living. Everything, three kinds: sattva, rajas, tamas, goodness, passion, ignorance. But if you live in temple, you live in Vaikuntha, above goodness. So all of you should be very careful that you may not fall down again from the Vaikuntha place. That should be your first business. That you have been given opportunity to live in Vaikuntha by making your home temple, worship Gaurnitai, chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds, follow for regulatory principles strictly, and don't fall down again. Either you fall down on goodness or passion or ignorance, that's all material. So they go to forest for meditation, but that is goodness only. Material goodness. But one who lives in temple, he is not concerned with the material goodness, passion, or ignorance. He lives in Vaikuntha. In this age, it is no, not possible in Kali Yuga. You can imagine that now I shall go to Himalaya, forest, and practice meditation. They're all bogus. You cannot do that. That's not possible because the age is different. We are not trained in that way. So formerly the brahmacharis, they used to go to the forest to the teacher, to the spiritual master, and they, acclimatized with the atmosphere. But here, from the very beginning, in school, colleges, dormitories, mixing freely, doing all nonsense, how it can go? That's not possible. That is not possible at all. Therefore, take advantage of this temple. The centrals we are obeying and live in Vaikuntha. And the authorities of the temple should be so careful that it doesn't turn into something else besides temple. Then you are safe. The Maya cannot touch you. So, thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization you can share with me. So we'll resume our class tomorrow with the verse number 23 in the morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Paditapan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Pranam. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि 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 बोल।